It's the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, and as we go into this weekend, Jodi and I are having to pack, and one thing I'm noticing, because we're about to move, and one thing I'm noticing is that the stuff that I am either donating or going through and wanting to keep seems to be a lot more, I don't know, goofy, weird than yours. Jodi's, the decisions Jodi's making are books that need to go, or clothes that need to go, or shoes. Me, I'm finding fake green hands like I gave Sam,
Which is awesome, by the way.
Yes,
props.
You guys should move more often.
As soon as you were saying, I want to get rid of that hand, I'm like, please give it to Sam, because you know he'd love it. And you're like, oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
He loves props.
It's funny how you think, or you both are like, Sam, that's
yeah.
a Sam thing.
Because you like props. You always have.
Yeah.
And always will.
But, I mean, doubloons, I guess I could have brought you some of those. You probably have a million doubloons from your childhood, Sam.
Yeah.
So
Back when I was a pirate.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm finding. And Jodi's finding just all the normal things.
Yeah.
Well, I don't keep that kind of stuff. I would have already pitched that years ago. That's my thing.
Oh, remember Murphy gave me the stoplight,
Oh, that's right.
Last time we moved.
I gave you a
long time
traffic
ago.
light, an actual a functioning traffic light.
Where is it today, Sam? Where's
on the
the traffic
patio.
light? Oh, nice.
Yeah, I fixed it, put new lights in it.
I knew a guy
It
who
works.
So that they work. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it doesn't like blink like Mr. Rogers used to. It just stays on.
Now, for anybody that's wondering how I got that in the first place,
Don't ask.
It was legitimate. No, it was a gentleman who was selling.
Gentlemen.
He was selling
Come over here.
traffic lights, and
Yeah, of course.
actually, he was selling off things from a bar that he owned.
Oh, yeah.
And so this was just one thing that was hanging in the bar, and yeah, I bought
Very
it for
cool.
$25, which I still think was kind of cheap for its
That
time,
is for a
right?
traffic
It
light.
is, totally. See, Sam, you can make some money on that.
And isn't this an antique one? Doesn't it have the word "stop" in the
Yes.
red light?
Yeah, the red light says stop.
Yeah.
so
See?
super cool. You know what I'm finding lately, and that makes me think that now that we're packing is not the packing thing. The packing thing is a good chance to clean out, and for me to have a really good inventory in my mind of what I feel like I get better all the time at just letting go of stuff. Life is not about stuff. I'm great with this, but let it go, And so it's a good little start. What I don't like, what I'm running into that I don't like, and this is why I would never want to build a house. This is why you and I, we said we're not going to build. We're not even going to remodel. We will move before we do any of that.
Because you and I cross paths with each other on a house that's already in existence. I mean, we bump heads, I guess.
Bump
right?
heads, yeah. And I don't want to make that many decisions. I do not want to make that many little decisions that have to be made if you were to ever build. Because people always say, why don't you just build?
Yeah.
It's like there's so many great houses everywhere. I don't want to do that.
It's not just that, too. It's as it's being built, you're going in and looking at the things you asked for, and it's like, that's not, can you redo that?
And I've never known anyone who built a house who didn't come back after and say, well, if I could do it again, I would do this instead. It's like, I don't want to live in that space. So my one thing that keeps popping up for me is like little decisions that I have to make just from moving from this
like
house.
Which one?
You're going to make fun, but bar stools. Okay, where we live now, there's like a bar, and I've never put bar stools at it because we have a little love seat backed up to it.
Well, and the girls just sit on the back part of the couch, and it's worked just fine.
It has.
You don't like that, huh?
But now there's a bigger space, and there's going to be room for actual bar stools.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's fun. I'm glad I'm going to put 3 bar stools there. I'm super excited about actually having that for them. But when I tell you, I had to measure the height, and then I go looking, and there's so many cool choices. Do I want high backs? Do I want low? Do I want saddle stools? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to have to make all these decisions.
I'm glad that doesn't really worry me, and I'm glad that you're the one who's going to pick that out, because to me, as long as I can pull the food up to me and sit somewhere, I'm fine.
By the way, one recommendation here, don't get the saddle stools.
I liked them, though. I sat them in the store.
It's nice to have the bigger ones, though, with the back on it, so that you can sit back and
Understand,
relax.
though, where I'm putting these in the house, there's already high back chairs near it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a breakfast table near it. So I would like a cleaner look through that little space.
I think what Sam is saying, it gets uncomfortable after a while.
No, these are not hard saddle stools. These are cushioned. The ones I'm looking at and sitting on, they're leather top cushioned, and they are super comfortable.
Okay.
So I might, because I really want a clean line through there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it through. I really am thinking it through.
Meanwhile, Murphy just wants something to sit on.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether to keep a green prosthetic hand or not. That's used for Halloween only.
What's up, Chad?
Jodi, I can really relate to your concerns of trying not to make too many design decisions, potentially conflicts between you and Murphy, because that's what it was like for me as a kid with my parents.
Yeah.
Things never came to blows, like it was never heated.
Well, that's good.
But they really like to decorate their home, and as a kid, if they got into a situation where they needed to make a decision they could not agree,
You were it.
I was the tiebreaker.
Ooh,
Chad, come in here.
that
We
is
want you to
tough.
look at these color swatches. What do you think would look better in the room? And so they'd show me
Wow.
the two kinds, and I'd be like, I think it's this one. As
Did
soon as
you-
I do, my dad would be like, ha, he agreed with me.
Wait. So did you ever know what side they were on, or did you just do your own?
They tried to be ambiguous so that I wouldn't pick favorites.
Yeah.
So
okay.
do you favor high back bar stools or saddle stools?
It doesn't matter.
Say,
I'm serious.
Sam wants you to side with him.
I like some of the high back ones, but I'm telling you, they're going to be very near a table,
Mm-hmm.
and I really do think I want a clean line. And when I said that to my friend who is a designer, she goes, "Yeah, it's a good idea because you already have enough going on in that area."
This is lost on me. I was trying to figure out whether I should really keep all the binder clips that I still have, or should I just donate those too?
Well, I'm excited about it because honestly, when the girls have friends over, they're always at the bar eating, and there's never. So at this house, there will be. It's the same length size bar, but I actually have room for stools now.
The bar is fun because I have one at my house.
Serve up to it?
with 3 stools, and there's times where it's just like, you know what, y'all sit at the bar.
Yeah.
And I can turn around from the stove. And
I can
give
be
them
short
their
order
food.
cook right
Yeah.
here.
And
Yeah.
it's fun because they're all there in the kitchen. If I'm not eating, if I'm cooking and stuff,
Yeah.
they're all there, and
Yeah.
it's together.
It's all blessings. I mean, we're so blessed, to be able to do this, and we're excited about moving and all that. But I don't like making a million little decisions. I'm already making it as a typical woman. I'm making these decisions in my head already. I know on moving day, I will know where everything that's coming. I know where it's going to go already. So that's exciting to me. I'm a visual thinker.
Yeah, you're
like
better at that than me.
I know where everything's going to go.
And I can't tell you how many times through this process, Jodi and I have almost said, should we just stay where we are? Let's just stay here. You don't want to have to pick up and deal with any of that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the hardest part for me was that during the process of, we were casually looking at first, and then we just came across something that we wanted that really fits our needs and puts us where in town we want to be, so closer to everything, closer to work and school for the kids and all that. So it will be much more convenient for us. And Phoebe was really enjoying looking with us. She loves to look at houses, and she seemed all about it. But once we started packing last weekend,
Not
she
fun anymore.
started having those feelings that I had at first too. It's like, oh God, this is really happening. And so now she was sort of this week in a spot of, I'm going to miss this house. And I hated that. It made me think, oh, I don't. But I had that whole full circle thing of change is a part of life. And I even told her, your same bed, we're right down, your bedroom is closer to us now, You still got Taylor. It's still going to be your room. You get to redo your room. She's picking a pretty yellow color.
Yeah.
So I tried to point all that out to her, even though she's always going to miss the house. She's always going to miss the house. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't change that.
For me, it's all the do-it-yourself stuff that I put into it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it is. I mean, I'm really not. It's like, wow, man. But and some of it, I mean, I really kind of can't take. It's going to leave a lot of holes.
Oh, you're
to remove
serious.
things.
Oh,
He's
I thought he was
serious.
being funny there.
No.
I'm being serious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, because I don't want to have to do all that again.
His man cave is very customized for
it's-
him.
But not just that. It's the things that I've done around. I like doing the landscape lighting. Finally,
It's so pretty.
Jodi asked me for 5 years to put landscape lighting in, and I did it a few months ago, and now it's going to stay.
Wait. It's also a selling point, though. It's beautiful. In fact, landscape lighting.
It's
Write
curb
it
appeal.
down.
Yeah.
It is. It's beautiful. You did a good job. And now you know what to do.
Yeah,
So in
especially-
5 years, you'll do it in our new house.
Especially since you have the big box on that tripod by the front door.
Right.
That's the lighting box, right?
That's what it is.
Anyway, yeah, it's funny that I know now, even just moving, I would never want to build. And some people are that way because they want to have exactly what they want. But I don't want to make those kind of decisions, I'm already. I'll let you know about the bar stools.
When I've built 2 houses before, I don't mean
Right,
me.
Sam.
I mean we've hired builders to
Oh,
build
that's
them.
right. The one you're in, you built, Sam,
Yes.
and then the one before that.
Yeah, wife 1 and wife 2. And we had a couple of guys looking at the house, neighbors that were walking through the house while it was being built, house number 2, and they were like, "You know what you need? You know what you need." And usually I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, dude."
Yeah.
But we listen, and sure enough, it's like, "Oh yeah, that would be a good." Like,
Do you remember
outdoor plugs outdoors on the soffit,
for
Right.
Christmas lights and stuff?
outside, rather than you having to get the 100-foot extension cord and plug it into the wall by the
That's
back door.
clever. Okay,
You have them out there, and they're hooked to a switch that all you have to do is turn it on inside.
that's smart.
That was just one of the ones I can remember that they said.
That's
And it's
super
like,
cool.
Oh, yeah, and you ask the builder, and it's like, sure, no problem.
That's super cool. Yeah, I know that you and I will never, Murphy,
Well-
build a house, and that's fine with me.
But it's almost the opposite now because thanks to websites like House and everything else and HGTV, there are
So
so
many
many
ideas.
different ideas. It's almost like an overload.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to-
but
to-
you
to
can pick and
from.
choose what's right for you. I'll tell you one interesting thing, and I would love to have your take on it, Sam.
Okay.
I mean, I know where I want to go with it, and Murphy is pretty indifferent. The 2 bathrooms in the house, it's an older house, which we
Yeah.
love old houses. They have those really old heaters that are not even safe to use.
In the
know what I'm
wall?
Well,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
not to code today. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
the old school gas heaters and this.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
You hold your hand out with the match and
Yes.
go.
My mother, her gown caught on fire when she was a little girl at one of those heaters, and she almost burned.
When we had
her leg.
those in our house when I was a kid
True
growing
story.
up, and I hated them.
Really?
But I mean, I was always anxious, so I knew one day it was going to explode, and I'd be taking a bath. And
Well, I guess these babies will be coming out now.
Well, my deal is that I want them to come out because I don't like the way they look. And I know Murphy's not going to let us use them because they're not to code. And I don't like the way they look. So I want a shelf in there instead. Just pull it out, have a friend of ours who does woodworking and all that, build me a little shelf there. That way it's actually usable space.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But I call him Handy Randy. Your friend Randy, he's so handy.
I didn't know you called him Handy Randy.
Well, in my head I do.
what do you call Murphy?
It's not handy.
I mentioned that to him, and he was like, "Oh man, you got to leave those. People buy houses because they want those."
Well, yeah, it's history.
Yeah.
I don't really
Here's
want
what you
that.
do. You just-
What would you do, Sam?
Well, not that I would do this, but Google it, look it up, use them as a planter or put a plant in them. I don't know what yours look like. If it's what I'm picturing,
They would
It's
just
the
look.
old porcelain.
you can kind of
yeah.
take the part of the innards out and put a planter in there, and you got a plant draping, like an ivy that drapes out of it.
That's interesting. After you cap the gas, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the gas running.
Okay, I did not see that answer coming. I also don't see me doing that.
I got plenty of those. Just bring them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we raise dead plants, usually that's.
We do not. I have 5 live, living, thriving plants in the house.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
7 dead ones.
No, I don't. We have living plants. In fact, one that came from your family that I've kept alive.
Oh yeah.
I need to show you that.
Okay.
Oh, here's an important one.
Murphy.
Do you already know where the Christmas tree is going?
Yes, I'm a chick, of course.
That's important.
I've told you twice. This is where the Christmas tree will go every December.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
That's good.
It's exciting.
And hey, update the plant that producer David got you. It's still standing.
It's true, and that's a
Well, that's
succulent.
it's a succulent. Yeah, so maybe that's where we could stick some succulents in there.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
No problem.
We should run that by Handy Randy.
Yeah.